Let's begin our journey in Yemen, where recent airstrikes on the Houthi rebels have sparked a remarkable geopolitical development. China and Russia have responded by sending their warships to the Red Sea, adding tension to an already unstable region. This move is a clear demonstration of their support for the Houthi rebels, who are engaged in a long-standing conflict with a coalition led by the United Kingdom and the United States. The ripple effect of this action is felt globally, sending shockwaves through the international community. Beyond its immediate implications, this maneuver not only showcases the increasing influence of China and Russia in the Middle East, but also illuminates the intricate network of alliances and rivalries, shaping the region's political landscape. To fully grasp the significance of the recent deployment of Chinese and Russian warships, it's crucial to delve into the background of the ongoing Yemen conflict. The roots of the Yemen conflict extend back to 2014, when Houthi rebels supported by Iran seized control of the Yemeni capital, Sana'a, leading to the exile of the internationally recognized government. In 2015, a coalition led by Saudi Arabia, with backing from the United States and the United Kingdom, intervened to restore the Yemeni government. However, over time, the conflict has evolved into a humanitarian crisis, with tens of thousands of civilian casualties and millions grappling with severe shortages of food and medical supplies. The Houthi rebels persist in their insurgency, frequently launching attacks into Saudi Arabia and holding sway over substantial parts of Yemen, including vital urban areas. China and Russia's recent decision to dispatch warships to the Red Sea in support of the Houthi rebels is a significant geopolitical move. Although both nations have maintained diplomatic ties with various factions in Yemen, this marks their first military engagement in the region. China's involvement is propelled by several factors, primarily stemming from its increasing energy demands. Yemen, strategically positioned along one of the world's busiest shipping routes, plays a crucial role in global energy trade. Chinese energy companies have made substantial investments in Yemen's oil and gas sector, making regional stability a paramount concern for Beijing. Additionally, China seeks to expand its influence in the Middle East and Africa through its Belt and Road Initiative. Yemen's strategic location at the southern entrance to the Red Sea holds immense importance for this initiative, serving as a gateway to the Suez Canal and Europe. By supporting the Houthi rebels, China aims to safeguard its interests in Yemen and ensure the security of its investments along the Belt and Road route. Turning our attention to Russia, the nation holds its own set of reasons for stepping into the Yemen conflict. Moscow, keen on establishing itself as a significant player in the Middle East, especially following its military involvement in Syria, sees an opportunity to reinforce its presence. By throwing its support behind the Houthi rebels, Russia aims to challenge the influence of the United States and its allies in the region. Moreover, the ongoing instability in Yemen has created an environment conducive to the growth of jihadist groups such as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula and the Islamic State. Fearing the spread of terrorism, Russia perceives a chance to position itself as a counter-terrorism partner in the region. This strategic move involves supporting the Houthi rebels, who actively oppose these extremist groups, aligning Russia with efforts to combat terrorism in the area. The dispatch of Chinese and Russian warships to the Red Sea has triggered a swift and diverse international reaction. Leaders of the coalition backing the Yemeni government, namely the United States and the United Kingdom, have expressed profound concern and strongly condemned this move. They perceive the participation of these two major powers as a direct challenge to their influence in the Middle East. In response to the escalating situation, the United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session to address the matter. However, as anticipated, the Council finds itself split along familiar lines. Given that China and Russia, as permanent members of the Security Council, possess veto power, the likelihood of imposing any punitive measures through the UN appears minimal. This dynamic further complicates international efforts to address and respond to the deployment of warships in the Red Sea. Turning our focus to the regional response, key players in the Middle East have reacted with concern. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, pivotal members of the coalition against the Houthi rebels, have urgently called for a meeting of the Arab League to address the unfolding situation. Their deep worry stems from the fear that the presence of Chinese and Russian warships might tip the balance of power in favor of the Houthi rebels. In a contrasting stance, Iran, a steadfast supporter of the Houthi rebels, has embraced the involvement of China and Russia, Tehran perceives this as an opportunity to fortify its own alliances and counter the influence of its regional rivals, particularly Saudi Arabia. Amid the geopolitical maneuvers, the most heart-wrenching facet of the Yemen conflict persists: the severe humanitarian crisis. Yemen teeters on the brink of famine, with millions grappling with acute food shortages and a healthcare system on the verge of collapse. The conflict has uprooted numerous families, exposing them to the risks of disease and malnutrition. The entry of Chinese and Russian warships into the Red Sea adds a new layer of threat to the already precarious situation. The intensification of hostilities poses a risk of more violence and civilian casualties. Furthermore, it could complicate efforts to provide humanitarian aid, as access to Yemen's ports and distribution routes becomes increasingly uncertain. While the international community has been extending humanitarian aid to Yemen, the magnitude of the crisis has overwhelmed these efforts. The United Nations and several non-governmental organizations have been working relentlessly to deliver crucial assistance, such as food and medical supplies, to Yemeni civilians. However, the latest developments raise concerns about the potential disruption or suspension of humanitarian operations due to heightened violence and insecurity. In response to this, the United Nations and aid organizations are urging all parties involved in the conflict to adhere to international humanitarian law. Their collective call emphasizes the importance of ensuring the safe and unimpeded delivery of aid to those in need. Despite the escalated tensions and military maneuvers, diplomatic efforts persist in search of a peaceful resolution to the Yemen conflict. The United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen is actively engaged in shuttle diplomacy, conducting talks with various stakeholders to explore possibilities for a negotiated settlement. The involvement of Chinese and Russian warships adds a new layer of complexity to diplomatic efforts. The big question is whether their participation will bring the warring parties closer to the negotiating table or drive them further into entrenched positions. The situation in Yemen emphasizes the pressing need for international cooperation and dialogue. The conflict has already inflicted immense suffering on the Yemeni people, and any escalation could spell devastating consequences for the entire region. To navigate this challenge, the international community must collaborate to find a resolution to the conflict, address the humanitarian crisis, and secure the crucial shipping routes in the Red Sea. It's crucial to keep diplomatic channels open, and all parties involved must be ready to make compromises in the pursuit of peace and stability. The deployment of Chinese and Russian warships into the Red Sea in support of the Houthi rebels introduces a volatile element into the already intricate Yemen conflict. This move reflects the evolving geopolitical landscape in the Middle East, with China and Russia asserting their influence. As the global community grapples with the repercussions of this development, it's essential not to lose sight of the humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in Yemen. Millions of innocent civilians are enduring immense suffering, and their well-being should remain a top priority for the entire world. Achieving peace in Yemen is a challenging journey, but diplomacy and international collaboration offer the most promising path forward. It is crucial that all parties engaged in the conflict, including China and Russia, prioritize the well-being of the Yemeni people and strive for a sustainable peace that can alleviate their suffering. As China and Russia deepen their involvement in the Yemen conflict, the situation becomes even more delicate. The United States and the United Kingdom find themselves in a precarious position, navigating the need to maintain their influence in the region, while steering clear of direct military confrontation with the new players involved. The Middle East has been a historical focal point of global tensions, and Yemen's proximity to vital oil shipping routes only amplifies its strategic significance. The presence of Chinese and Russian warships disrupts the traditional power balance in the region, potentially complicating efforts to stabilize Yemen and address broader issues affecting the Middle East. The deployment of these warships into the Red Sea in support of the Houthi rebels introduces a new and unpredictable element into the already intricate Yemen conflict. This move reflects the changing geopolitical landscape in the Middle East, with China and Russia aiming to assert their influence, while the international community grapples with the repercussions of this development. Let's not forget the unfolding humanitarian crisis in Yemen. Millions of innocent civilians are enduring immense suffering, and their well-being should be a top concern for the global community. The path to peace in Yemen is challenging, but diplomacy, and international cooperation provide the best chance for a resolution. It's crucial that all parties engaged in the conflict, including China and Russia, prioritize the welfare of the Yemeni people and strive for a lasting peace that can put an end to their hardships. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you found this information valuable, please show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you stay updated on our latest videos.